And I want to leave some time for us to take questions from the audience. Before I do, I want to ask about Bad Robot and diversity, because this has been an issue that's come up recently. The Academy Awards was all about this, right? This has been something, not just in entertainment. What's interesting about today is that this diversity issue about getting voices you don't expect has come up again and again and again. You wrote a memo just a couple of weeks ago to studios and to agencies saying, we want to see pitches that reflect the diversity of America.
Well, what happened was, obviously the Oscar controversy was sort of a wake-up call to us, and it was funny because people were saying to us at the time, oh, it was so great how you guys made Star Wars and you had a representative cast, and that was great. But what we realized was that it has to be a systemic approach.
That's it.
And so we contacted, and looking at the Oscar issue was symptomatic of a problem. It wasn't the problem. The Oscars is the last stop on the train. The first stop is what gets made, and there has been obviously a white male community for the most part, and I understand that there's a kind of knee-jerk response to jobs available, going to someone you know. You might have the same points of reference. You might have a lot of commonality. He looks like me. It's like but the truth is that no community is best served when they're the elite are in control, when there's only one group. And we realized we had to do something that was at least for us a step.
And how has the community reacted to that?
Well, what happened was we sent an email to our agency, Creative Artists Agency, and we said, from now on, a policy of Bad Robot is any list that we get for writers, directors, producers, projects, it needs to be at the very least representative of this country. And we literally sent them, percentages, a breakdown, and said, we're happy. This is like the bare minimum, but please, we just don't want any more lists that look the way those lists look. And what's incredible is their response immediately was, great, we're on it. And the lists that we've been getting have immediately been, frankly, a more interesting and inclusive list. Huh. We also, with Paramount and Warner Brothers, said the same thing to them. And all we're saying, it's not about a quota system. It's not saying we have to hire any one person. It's the simple task of saying, let's choose from a pool that represents the community, the real community, not the created community, not the community that is the old guard. And this is something that won't go away. Audiences, the press, everyone knows this is happening. And I'm sure that there are some people who would like it to go away. And I know that when some people have said, oh, look, Star Wars, it's become this big success, and there's a female in the lead and a black man and a Latino man in the lead. And then there are some people who go, yeah, but that's Star Wars, it doesn't count. There's always an excuse as to why something doesn't matter to those who feel threatened by it. But I gotta say, it's about the bottom line. I think the better stories are gonna come from the more inclusive voices. I think the audiences will go to see these movies, and I think that the bottom line will increase, that will benefit for this inclusivity.
It's fascinating, because what you're talking